friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angela and I'm currently here in Amsterdam in the Netherlands for the next 48 hours roughly. If you have been watching my channel for the past few vlogs, you'll know that I just went to Scotland for 5 days, London for 2 days, and now I'm here in Amsterdam and I'm traveling with my best friend Katie. We've been traveling for the past week or so and now we are finally in Amsterdam, which is the reason that we did this trip all together, because we bought tickets to see Taylor Swift in concert at her Eras tour, and we have come all the way over to Europe from Canada just to see her in concert. We bought these tickets like a year ago, and so it's crazy that the time has finally come to see her in concert. I'm so excited. Today we flew over from London to Amsterdam. If you haven't seen my London vlog yet, you can check it out right over here. We flew in around 7 p.m, landed around 9:30. We took the train because we found out that our airport hotel is not actually connected to the airport or like super close to the airport. It's in the neighborhood of like Hoofddorp, which is just like one train station away from the airport, and then we had to walk to our hotel because it's like located in a kind of sketchy, not sketchy area, but it's just like empty, and I had a weird route. The bridge that we were supposed to cross was closed, so we had to take a long way route. Anyways, there was these two other people who were also looking for the same hotel, so we ended up meeting them and chatting with them. They're also here for the Taylor Swift concert tomorrow, so it's exciting that there's so many Swifties in town, and Swifties are always the nicest people, so I'm very, very excited for tomorrow. We have booked an airport hotel this time, and the reason for this is because even when we were booking hotels about a year ago, because of Taylor Swift, every single hotel that was regularly like $100 was $500, and that was a year ago, so I'm sure it's gone up even more since then. So insane expensive hotels. So we ended up finding a really good deal, so we booked this because it was like $125 Canadian per night, which is normal price, but insane compared to every other accommodation in the city this weekend. But yeah, we're staying a little bit further outside of the city. So tomorrow we're planning to go into the city, do a little bit of sightseeing, check out a couple of places that we want to go to. I've been before. If you haven't seen my vlog of my last time in Amsterdam, you can check it out up here. I went with my friend Kelly about 2 years ago and we did all like the regular sightseeing things. This time it's going to be a little bit of a speed run version of that because we don't have very much time. We only have the full day tomorrow, and then the next day we're both flying out on separate flights. My flight is super late in the evening, so I'll have another day. Katie hasn't been here, so we're gonna do a little bit of the touristy sightseeing things tomorrow. Hopefully check out some of the places that I loved from my previous trip here. Tomorrow our plan is to head into town. We have free breakfast as a part of our hotel stay, so we're probably gonna eat breakfast here, go into town, do all the sightseeing things, check it out, and then we're gonna come back to our hotel, get ready for our concert, and then we're gonna head out from our hotel to the concert because there's a direct train that will take us there, which is great. So that is what we have in store for tomorrow, and then the day after that we'll be able to do a little bit more exploring. Then we'll both be heading out to our next destination, so I will take you along with us for our next 48 hours in Amsterdam and see Taylor Swift and all of the fun things that comes along with that. So I will see you tomorrow. In the morning, we grabbed breakfast from our hotel since it was included, and then we took the train into Amsterdam Central Station. Right outside the station is the popular and iconic tourist attraction called Damrak. So we took some pictures there, even though it was a little gloomy that day. And then we walked down the main bustling street and stopped to grab some of the famous Holland fries from Mannequin Piss, which serves these delicious thick cut pillowy fries with all sorts of sauces to go with it. And then we continued walking down this main street. We saw some cheese shops with a bunch of wheels of cheese in it, and since it started raining, we decided to pop into a few stores, including this huge luxury department store where I bought some gifts, since you can get a VAT refund on any goods over 50 euros if you are a non-EU resident. They even have a tax refund lounge in the building, so it makes it really, really easy and convenient. After doing some shopping and dodging the rain, we head over to try the famous cookies from Van Stapel that I had tried during my previous trip when it was located in this little alley, but the store is much bigger now since they used to have crazy lines around the block. They specialize in serving only one product, which is their dark chocolate cookie with with white chocolate filling, which personally is not my favorite type of cookie, but I'm glad that Katie got to try it. Afterwards, we walked around and enjoyed the sunshine for a little bit before we head to our next stop, which is another very famous food shop called Van Wonderen for their stroop waffles. Honestly, this place is a little bit of a tourist scam, so I wouldn't recommend it, but definitely would recommend trying a stroop waffle at some point if you're in Amsterdam. Down the street, we checked out this fun store that exclusively sells different varieties of peanut butter, and then we continued walking over to the famous Bloemen Market, which is a picturesque floating flower market on the canal where they sell lots of flowers, seeds, and souvenirs like these cute little magnets. After enjoying the beautiful bright flowers, we head over to the Secret Garden, which is sort of a speakeasy style restaurant since you can't see the inside from the street. But when you walk in, you discover the most gorgeous restaurant with the most beautiful interiors. We were seated in the solarium area, which, as you can see, is absolutely beautifully decorated. Even when we walked to the bathroom, it was so extravagant with disco balls hanging from the ceilings, and I was truly just blown away by how beautiful this restaurant was. We ordered some delicious cocktails and then got some tableside guac, which was prepared fresh right in front of us. We also ordered the salmon tataki, Wagyu fried rice, and corn salad, which were all really delicious. This was definitely not a cheap meal, but I am so glad that the salespeople at YSL that we had chatted to recommended this place because it was truly an experience. Following that meal, we walked around more of the beautiful streets of Amsterdam and soaked up the sun before we caught the tram and train back to our hotel. Hello, we are back at the hotel after our morning of exploring. It is about 3:20. We are going to be getting ready for the concert. As you can tell, we already have our friendship bracelets on, but we're going to do our makeup, get dressed, get changed, all of that, and then we're going to head over to the arena, which is where she's going to be playing. So I'll take you along with us for our entire concert journey tonight. I'm so excited, but I really need to get ready, so I will do that real quick and then we'll head out. We were originally planning to take the train to the arena, but as we were heading out, we bumped into two other Swifties who were also headed to the arena, so we ended up splitting an Uber together, and we found out that they had traveled all the way from Argentina to see Taylor Swift, which was wild, but honestly, most of the people that we met that weekend and saw at the concert were coming from out of town, and it was just insane to see how much Taylor Swift could drive the economy in all of the cities that she performed. Once we arrived at the arena, we lined up to get through security, and then we grabbed our concert bracelets, which lit up in different colors throughout the concert, which added so much to the experience. They were selling merch, but the lines were super duper long, so we didn't buy any that day. But I did want to eat a little bit before the concert started, so I bought a hot dog with mustard to get me through the next 5 hours. We found our seats and watched as people slowly filled the stadium. It was definitely the largest stadium I think I've ever been to, so even though we were sitting in the lower bowl, it felt like we were still really far from the stage. Since we had some time to kill, we took lots of photos in our concert outfits and traded friendship bracelets with some of the other Swifties before Paramore came out to perform as the opener. I've definitely heard a few of Paramore's songs, but didn't listen to a ton of their music before this concert, but I definitely have a newfound appreciation for Hayley Williams' voice and her stage presence after seeing her live. After Paramore performed, Taylor Swift and her crew arrived, and the countdown to the concert began. Once the clock struck 12, we started in the Lover era with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, followed by Cruel Summer, The Man, You Need to Calm Down, and of course, Lover. The energy in the stadium was absolutely electric, and the screams when she appeared were so loud that everybody probably suffered permanent hearing damage, but it was worth it. After the Lover era, she threw it back to my personal favorite era with Fearless, which was the staple album of my childhood. So to hear it live and be able to sing these songs that my 8-year-old self used to listen to on my Fearless CD was such a nostalgic experience. After Fearless, You Belong With Me, and Love Story, it was time for the Red era with some of her most popular hits like 22, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, and I Knew You Were Trouble. Then it was time for the song that I had been waiting for, the 10-minute version of All Too Well, which of course I know every single lyric to and sang at the top of my lungs. That was followed by probably my favorite performance of the entire night, which was the only song from Speak Now, Enchanted, which captured my attention with a beautiful dress and dance performance accompanying another one of my favorite childhood songs. After Enchanted, there was a major pivot in the vibe as we entered the Reputation era with Ready for It, Delicate, Don't Blame Me, and Look What You Made Me Do. Then the vibe pivoted once again as we entered the Folklore and Evermore era, which I absolutely loved the set design for, and we got to hear more from her about her songwriting process for both of these sister albums that she released during COVID. We got to hear Cardigan, Betty, Champagne Problems, August, Illicit Affairs, My Tears Ricochet, Marjorie, and Willow, which is seared into my memory. Then we switched back to the upbeat vibes with the 1989 era, where we got to sing and dance to Style, Blank Space, Shake It Off, Wildest Dreams, and Bad Blood. Everyone was singing and dancing along to these songs. Even all of the dads in the stadium who were just there to chaperone their daughters, they were on their feet for these bangers. After 1989 was the Tortured Poets department that had only been released a few months before the concert, but that was plenty of time for all of the Swifties to learn and dissect the lyrics of every single song. We got to see this newest addition to the Eras Tour, which included performances of But Daddy I Love Him, So High School, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, Down Bad, Fortnite, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, and I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, which described her experience of going through her breakup with Joe Alwyn at the beginning of the Eras tour, so it was a very full circle moment. Afterwards, it was the moment everyone was waiting for. The surprise songs, where every single concert, Taylor sings 2 surprise acoustic mashups from anywhere in her discography. This segment allows everyone who has gotten to attend her concerts live to feel special, as this is the only segment of the entire concert that isn't repeated and only happens once in the entire history of the tour. It allows the Swifties to hear the less popular songs that she doesn't perform as often, and it's arguably the most anticipated part of the concert. On our night, which was the third and final night in Amsterdam, she performed on guitar a mashup of Sweeter Than Fiction and Holy Ground, and then on piano she performed a mashup of Mary's Song, So High School, and Everything Has Changed, also known as the Travis mashup, because it was very clear that that mashup was all about Travis Kelce. After a quick and dramatic costume change, we entered the last era of the night with Midnights, starting with Lavender Haze, followed by Antihero, Midnight Rain, Vigilante, Bejeweled, Mastermind, and finally Karma, which she changed the lyrics to Guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to me, as a little shout out for Mr. Travis Kelce, who was somewhere in the crowd. And with that, Taylor and the entire crew said their goodbyes as all of us in the audience stood there in utter shock that the concert we had waited a whole year for had finally taken place. Before we left the stadium, we got to see Taylor one more time as she left the stadium hand in hand with Travis, ready to head off to Zurich, where she would have her next set of concerts in a few days' time. We slowly made our way out of the stadium with a huge crowd, and we walked over to the train station to catch the next train back to our hotel in Hoofddorp, as Katie and I debriefed our concert experience and our favorite performances of the night. Morning! It is our third and last day here in Amsterdam. Yesterday was so much fun. We saw Taylor in concert at her Eras tour and it was amazing. She was phenomenal. We woke up a little bit later this morning, grabbed some breakfast at our hotel, and now we just packed up and we're about to check out of our hotel room. We're gonna go into the central area of Amsterdam and we're gonna go explore a tiny little bit more. Hopefully grab an apple pie because we didn't get to go to Winkle 43 yesterday, but we're gonna try to go today and hopefully get some of my favorite apple pie on this planet. But Katie's gonna be taking the train to her next destination around 2 p.m. today, and then my flight isn't until 10 p.m. tonight, so I have a bit of time to do a little more exploring, come back, grab my stuff from the hotel, and then head over to the airport for my flight later today. So I will take you along with me for my last day of exploring Amsterdam. Once again, we head over to the train station and caught the train to Amsterdam Central, walked through the beautiful streets and enjoyed the scenery with all of the lovely canals and boats that we got to see. Our one goal of the day was to go to Winkle 43 before Katie had to catch her train to her next destination. But when we got there, the line for my favorite apple pie shop in the world was so long, but I reassured Katie that it would be worth it. Once it was finally our turn, we ordered 2 slices of their famous apple pie so that we could each enjoy one, and it fully lived up to the hype that I remembered from my last trip to Amsterdam. It was so good, in fact, that I ordered another one to go so that I could enjoy it one more time that day. Afterwards, it was time for Katie to catch her train, so we walked back to Amsterdam Central and we said our goodbyes. Then I head back out to do some more exploring of the city to different areas that I hadn't walked around yet, but it was fairly rainy that day, so after a bit of solo exploring and walking around, I decided to catch the train back to my hotel to go grab my belongings and head over to the airport. When I got to the airport, I found a cafe to grab a matcha latte and eat my extra apple pie that I had been carrying around, and it was so delicious. And then I went through security and finally boarded my flight. Hello, this is editing Angela popping in because I realized that I forgot to film an outro for this vlog. It's been a while since I was in Amsterdam, but watching it back and reliving those memories, it really feels like a fever dream, but it's just crazy that I got to see Taylor Swift in concert at her Eras tour. She came to Toronto like a few months after that, and the tickets were crazy expensive. Like, resale was going for at least $3,000 for like the worst spots in the arena. So I am very, very happy that Katie and I got to go to Amsterdam to see her in concert and make a whole trip out of it for way less than that cost. Now her Eras tour officially ended, and I'm just so glad that I can say that I got to attend and experience it firsthand, because I feel like it's such an iconic like milestone in history. That might be a little dramatic, but the Eras tour shaped the last few years and controlled the economy in all of these cities that she went to. So it's just crazy to say that I got to experience that, and it was so much fun. And going to Amsterdam again and trying all the food that I really enjoyed and seeing the beautiful streets and canals of Amsterdam was so lovely. It's definitely a beautiful city that I would love to return to again in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you might enjoy my London vlog, so you can check that out right over here. And I have many, many, many more travel vlogs to come, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!